Hello and welcome to another review here, and today I'm reviewing Justice League. And before I get into anything, this is a spoiler review, so if you haven't seen Justice League, just put this in your watch later little thing up there, and you can come back later once you've watched the movie. But be warned, I will spoil things about the movie, so consider yourselves warned on everything spoilers for Justice League. Also, we have a new Facebook page. It's facebook.com/ccinemareviews page, so definitely check the channel out there. We're also on Twitter at ccinemareviews, so tweet me anytime you want, and I'll definitely try to respond to everything I get. Also, if you enjoy this review and want to see more like it in the future, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. It's absolutely free, and if you hit the little bell next to the subscribe button, it will notify you every time I put up a new video. With that being said, let's get into the review. So first off, is it good? And more importantly, did I like it? And yeah, I mean, it's considering the situation that this movie was put in, it was a really fun and entertaining movie. I mean, when you have, your first director who pretty much doesn't quit on the job, but quits for a good reason. I believe his daughter died, and so he was like, "Hey, I gotta deal with my family right now." So your first director leaves for an unfortunate situation, and then you have another director who comes on and does massive reshoots, does a recut of the movie. Uh, Considering like all that drama and the bad things that have happened to this movie, I think, or have happened during production of this movie, I think it did really well. All things considered, I think it's they've put in some more. They put in some more humor than the last movies, but it doesn't, and it's something that they've done really well because it doesn't have a bizarre tonal shift than the other movies that they've made, because because you have characters like Superman and Batman, where Batman's a serious dude. Like, he's not going to be cracking jokes, okay? That's for Robin to do, right? You have Superman, who's never really been a jokester, also. So it makes sense why Batman v Superman or Man of Steel wouldn't be, super yucks, telling jokes left and right. And then Wonder Woman, again, she's, thousands of years old. She's probably heard every joke in the book, and so she's not, she's not going to be funny because she's heard them all. And so, yeah, that character doesn't seem like one to joke around, but they did it right in that your new characters like Aquaman and the Flash, not really Cyborg, he has some funny lines, but Aquaman and the Flash, those two are really funny. They do really good, and it's smart because, like, 10 years ago, Aquaman is like a really dumb character. Now Jason Momoa is doing really good, and that character is one of my he's one of I think he's probably my favorite coming out of this movie, my favorite of the new cast of characters, just because he's cool. Like, he made Aquaman cool, and that's something that's difficult to do. It's not a perfect movie, but it doesn't have to be. This movie is not calling itself The Godfather. It's not calling itself Citizen Kane. It's calling itself Justice League, and it's a pretty good Justice League movie in my opinion. Yeah, the villain is a CGI monster with a beam of light going into the sky trying to destroy the world, like, you know, every other superhero movie, it seems like. Uh, but at least they're keeping their universe consistent. I mean, what was it? Suicide Squad had the beam of light and the CGI monster. Even Man of Steel had the beam of light destroying the Earth. So they're keeping it consistent. Let's talk some more about the characters. Wonder Woman, as always, is amazing. They really have a good, solid. They really have a good, solid grip on what Wonder Woman is, how she fits in this world, and she's honestly like the best character. Like, you can say stuff about how good Superman is and Batman is and Aquaman and everybody else, but Wonder Woman is the most solid character. She's the one that you can bank on being good, because we've seen her in 3 movies now, and in all 3 movies we have never complained about her, what she did, or anything like that. So Wonder Woman is amazing. Batman is regretful, which is a nice twist, because we get the fact that he blames himself for Superman being dead, and that's something that would have been really cool to see over a few movies. Like, if this movie didn't have Superman, that would have been awesome to see Batman cope with that. If, the standalone Batman movie, if that, ever comes out, if we would have had that one and Superman still would not have come back, that would have been really interesting to see a Batman who's like, man, I killed this guy. I killed potentially our biggest hitter, and that's something that's really cool to see Batman be regretful, knowing that he messed up, and that's it's a nice thing. Flash in this movie is cleanup duty. Like, clean up on aisle 4, yeah, that's what he is. He's not there to fight. He's not there, to do anything else but keep civilians out of the way and give Wonder Woman her sword back when she drops it. It's really nice. It's nice because Ezra Miller as the character, and the character even knows that he's not a good fighter. So he's like, hey, whoa, I can, I'm not a fighter. I don't do this kind of thing. I just kind of push people and then run away. It's really funny that the character knows that he's not on the same level as Wonder Woman or Batman, Aquaman, man. Jason Momoa and Aquaman is the coolest guy in this whole movie. Like, you can say whatever you want about everybody else. Aquaman is so cool because, like, dude's up in the north. I don't know, I think he's in Europe somewhere, and he's just like, you know what, I'm gonna go into the ice water and I'm gonna swim away because I'm just that cool. He doesn't talk to fish, he talks to the water, and the water talks to the fish, so he plays telephone in the ocean, which is great. Like, honestly, Aquaman is my favorite coming out of this movie. I think he's really cool, and I can't wait for that movie that should come out next year, hopefully. If Warner Brothers doesn't shut it down, that would be great. And then there's Cyborg. Yeah. Diane Lane and Amy Adams are really, really good in the in the limited amount of screen time that they get. They have pretty much it's not too much that they get, other than when Superman finally, he comes back, when the Justice League revive him. He goes off, he finds, or Lois is there, because Batman brings Lois in to, calm Clark down, because dude's going crazy because he just came back to life. Anybody would go crazy too. So he just takes her, goes back to their house in Kansas, and then Diane Lane, she goes back to their house, and they all have a nice reunion, and it's really good. It's one of the best quiet scenes in the movie, where you have Diane Lane, or Ma Kent, Clark, you have Lois Lane. They're all there, and it's so nice to see them all there, and it's like, oh, this is great. This reminds me very much of Man of Steel, and it was a really nice scene, and it was a really emotional scene. I didn't cry, but it was emotional, so it was nice. Commissioner Gordon is great. He's like a cameo. J.K. Simmons is just in one scene where he sees Batman, and he's like, oh, cool, what's up? How you doing? And then Batman leaves, and then you have that scene where Flash is like, oh, they're gone. Okay, that's rude. Yeah, the characters are for the most part good. Cyborg, honestly, couldn't care less about him. Sorry, but didn't give me anything to care about though much. Bringing this review to a close, I want to say that this is a good movie. Like, when I went into this movie, when I went into the movie, I had one question, and that it needed to be answered, and when I came out of the movie, I asked myself that question, and that question was, was this movie a fun Justice League movie? And yeah, like, I had fun with it. I laughed. I definitely cheered, when Superman came in and just laid the smackdown on Steppenwolf. I was happy watching the movie. I felt I had a good time watching the movie, and that's something that I had, that's something to me. I don't understand why the critics, the bona fide critics out there, I don't understand why they don't recommend this. Like, it doesn't have a good rating on Rotten Tomatoes, but that doesn't mean that they think it's a bad movie. They just think that they don't recommend it for you as much as some of the other movies. But I do feel like it is another step in the right direction. Honestly, Wonder Woman was it was a leap in the right direction for me. I think that was a really good movie, and this movie does go in the right. It does take another step in the right direction. It's not perfect. It's not as good as Wonder Woman, but I get that, and I understand that. And when you think about what happened to this movie as far as the directors and everything, and the reshoots and everything, and the recuts of the movie, it's really mind-boggling that this movie is actually as good as it is. Like by all accounts, it shouldn't be as good as it is, and I think that it's a really good movie. I think that you should go watch it if you haven't seen it, because I know that there is a lot of people that haven't seen it. I think that you should go watch it. I did. I think it's a really fun movie, you guys. It's a good Justice League movie, and there's Superman in it. I understand that the marketing was like, hey, no Superman, sorry, he's not here, he's dead, right? Batman's regretful. Don't worry about it. Superman is in it. Go watch the movie. It's a really good movie. It's a really good movie. I would like to see where DC goes in the future with this, their DC universe. I think that Warner Brothers could do better. But you don't, it's tough to make every movie that you make great. It's really difficult to make a great movie, and so we just gotta give them time. We gotta give them, the benefit of the doubt. We gotta watch their movies, because I want more. I want that Aquaman movie. I think it's gonna be great, and I think that they're going in the right direction as far as their DC universe. Warner Brothers should keep making these movies and just take their time. Don't be reactionary to the fans. Like, that's the thing. The fact that they are they are a reactive, Warner Brothers tends to react to the fans in the way that they are and what the fans tell them, whereas sometimes you gotta tell them, be quiet. Sometimes you gotta do what is right. Like, that's what Marvel does. Honestly, nobody tells Marvel, "Hey, do this or be this way." And Marvel's not going to be reactionary. Marvel's going to do what they want, because they know that you guys will want it. And that's the thing. That's the thing that's so good about Marvel, is that Kevin Feige and everybody, they know exactly what the fans want before the fans want it. And I think that DC knew exactly what the fans want before the fans wanted it. They just didn't execute right on a couple of their movies, and then things kind of got wobbly. But I think that they're back on track, and I want them to continue to take risks. I want them to continue to make these movies and just have fun and do it, because these are great characters who have great stories, and you can tell those, and you can make a lot of money, Warner Brothers. So definitely check this movie out if you haven't already. And that's pretty much it. It's pretty much it for the review. Like I said before, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button if you've enjoyed this and want to see more videos like this in the future. Again, facebook.com/ccinemareviews page, Twitter @ccinemareviews, and tell me your thoughts in the comment section down below. It might be, a quote unquote controversial movie. I think it's a really good one. Tell me your thoughts in the comment section down below, or on Facebook, or on Twitter, wherever and whenever you want to tell me your thoughts. Just tell me, because I'd like to have a discussion on this movie. I think it's a really good one. If you don't, I'd like to hear why. So definitely tell me. I'll try to respond to every single comment that I get. So yeah, just go ahead, say anything about the movie. Don't say anything. Say anything that you want about the movie or the potential of the DC universe. So yeah, see you later. Bye bye.